find your niche, so you are more often than not.
So would you call it is it a branding quest that you're looking for, or authenticity? Do you think that if you were true to yourself in the most honest way that you would be special, or is that not even enough?
Yeah, I think that if I'm true to myself, I am special, and the penises are true to me.
The goblin penises.
What they stand for, being able to cut serious moments with comedy and be able to have sincerity and honest moments. It goes both ways.
Sure.
And by just having that as a device, it ended up becoming a device where I now seek times to use it. But it is.
But you get excited. Like sometimes you're like, probably shouldn't use it, but I need some dicks here.
I've never thought I shouldn't use it and didn't use it unless it was a budget issue.
Uh-huh. But I mean, do you think, I'm asking to you, are there any gratuitous goblin cocks in any of the work?
Yes. but you know, I'm not saying it's the richest of context, but there's always a reason for it.
Sure. That you know.
Well, like right now, if we had already set this up and this is my podcast, I'm having a goblin cock come in, but he's now wearing a tuxedo and it's not gratuitous.
Right.
And you get to build this world like a Quahog or a South Park.
Right. Around the interview. The person you're talking to has no idea that they may be fucked in the ear by a goblin.
That's where sometimes it gets tricky.
Really? Have you had pushback?
Yeah. Yeah, it's less about what the animation is and more about the fact that I'm live editing and I'm asking people to do stuff.
All right, so you're taking them out of context in a way.
I'm taking them out of context. I'm willing to explain it to them, but I prefer if they just trust where it's going to go. And
I thought ours went really smooth. Like I played along and it was almost like we were a comedy team.
Are you being serious? Because I do feel that way.
No, I feel that way.
Yeah, there's something really pretty about having somebody come over, because you and I didn't know each other well at all.
No. Matter of fact, I was skeptical of everything about you.
Yeah, and I feared your skepticism.
Yeah.
I wanted you there and also questioned why you came.
Well, I mean, because you were... Well, what do you mean? You asked me and you seemed to want me to come. I don't know why I came. Because you're charming.
Casual gratuitous.
You're charming. Casual gratuitous? You would put one in there?
Yeah, it was we got to move past. That was just a casual cum joke.
Oh, I see. Right, got it. But that would have been animated?
No, at this point...
Do you have coming goblin cocks?
There has... Yeah, I don't show the cum.
Oh, is that where you draw the line?
It's where Tom doesn't draw the line. Please, let's move past this, because it's...
No, I think people need to know... No, I think that people be like, what is this show? We haven't even said the name of it. This is a great build.
Uh-huh.
What's it called?
It's called Take Your Shoes Off.
And that's a real thing, because you're like a fucking weirdo and you won't let people in your house without... I guess that's not that weird.
Yeah, I would say that though...
Most people.
I subscribe to being weird. I don't think that taking your shoes off is that. I think it's weird to track shit, piss, and cum through your carpet. Cigarette butts.
My cat walks around on my food counter. Where do you stand with that?
That's what I grew up with cats.
So you don't have a problem with it?
I've accepted that that's how people live their life. When I go home, that's how it is.
There are cats on the food counter?
Yeah, I just don't use the food counter the same way I do at my house.
Which is what, you lick it off the counter? You eat right off the counter?
No, I like to make big portions. And I'll leave stuff out on the counter, and I'll go back to it during the day.
Like you have a buffet going at your house most of the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I like to make things that would have different sauces and different toppings. Yeah, quite. I never thought of it that way, but it's a buffet, an eaten buffet. And a cat is just like having a roommate. I just don't want to leave stuff out. I don't have a roommate.
My cat wouldn't eat anything. He wouldn't eat anything I left out on the counter. He'll lick a piece of fish occasionally, but he doesn't eat.
What's the difference between eating and licking?
Well, I guess that's true. I'm more concerned about the cat than I am with me. I mean, you're going to cook it. Well, that's not true, actually.
Yeah.
There's some bad shit in cat mouths.
Yeah.
My cat bit me, and I had a catch an infection before it possibly killed me.
Are you okay?
Yeah, but I had to take antibiotics. He bit me because he got stuck in the blind cord, and instead of just cutting it, I tried to untangle him, and he was panicking. So he bit me for real, and I washed it and everything. But cat bites, I don't know if you know, they have some serious fucking germs in them. And you can get this infection that goes through all of your skin.
I didn't know.
And it started to happen. Like I was on IG Live, and people were like, "You should get that looked at." It was red, And I went to my doctor, and she was like, "You got this in time. This could have been bad. Like my cat could have fucking killed me, compromised my life."
Well, that's less a counter problem and more a blinds problem, I guess.
That is a blinds problem, but next time I'll just cut the cord.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, do you feel that that's kind of a microcosm of your personality where instead of just taking the easy route, you want to untangle everything and get your hands dirty?
No, I don't think that I think that's an interesting metaphor that you tried to make.
Thank you.
But,
we'll be right back after a word
wait,
from our
this is
sponsor.
mine. This is my show. No, we're doing.
Can we edit it in here?
Edit what in?
My dad's rug store?
No.
And we're back. That's Marshall Rug Gallery in Cleveland, Ohio.
Did you slip? Did you think you were on your show?
No, I just felt good with you, and I figured
All right, maybe
plug my dad's rug store.
Maybe we'll throw it in there.
We'll
Have
play
you
by ear.
brought him customers?
He's sold a few rugs. I know at least a few rugs, but not enough to. I do commercials for him in every episode.
You're a Cleveland Jew?
Yeah.
So, wait, where were we? Oh, no, that is not a microcosm. It was impulsive for me to untangle him. I didn't think to cut it. Like, he was panicking, and in that moment, my brain was like, it's because he's tangled, untangle. It didn't go the next step to, like, he's going to bite you and possibly infect your hand. Perhaps let him fucking squirm for a minute more and go find a scissor to cut the cord.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't think that means that it's a general disposition of mine to untangle. I'd rather not untangle.
Well, why are we doing this right now then?
Why are we untangling you?
This.
What do you mean?
I feel like we're untangling. I'm an untangler.
You're an untangler.
I like an untangle.
I can't. I lose patience with it. Everything gets tangled, and if I were an untangler, it's almost like a hobby. It's like I used to do a bit about it. I think about how there's so many cords in our lives, literal cords that are constantly getting tangled up and fucked up. So is like constantly untangling cords the same as doing like Sudoku? Like, am I getting equal amount of like mental dexterity from the act of untangling the cords in my life as I would if I were playing a game with boxes that I don't understand?
Well, I think the difference is Sudoku always comes to you intentionally tangled, where...
So the spontaneity of it diminishes the mental agility exercise of untangling?
Well, there's the mental agility of it, which I'm disregarding. I'm just talking about having a clean life.
Right.
When you untangle something, it's now untangled. And
Right.
and also when you untangle something, you get better at untangling.
Kind of.
So it's not like every day you wake up and you have to clean the same mess over and over again.
No, but there's always knots.
And that brings us to my next point.
Yeah. You want to do another rug ad? So
I'd rather not.
So take your shoes off?
Yeah.
Is with Rick Glassman.
Uh-huh.
I've seen bits and pieces that you put up on Instagram of your family, and it seems that you grew up with some fairly, not run-of-the-mill, but not unusual to me, middle-class Jewish maniacs. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't not unusual to me either.
No, but I mean, as a Jew who's dealt with Jews of a certain ilk,
Yeah.
your family seems to fit some of that. They strike me as more kind of like pre-retirement Florida Jews, which is interesting.
PRFJs.
Yeah.
I don't have Florida retirement Jews in my family, so I know the cliche. I don't know what those are.
Well, I just mean it seems like they have a good time. They enjoy sports. There's a lot of them around.
Yeah. It feels like there's a lot of them. Right now in Cleveland, there's 4 of them.
Four.
Mom, dad, grandma, and uncle. The rest are out in L.A.
You got Glassman Jews out here?
Yeah.
Who?
I got my aunt. I got my brother. I have 3 cousins.
Your aunt's out here?
My dad's sister moved out here before I did.
To do what?
Get out of there, I guess. She and my uncle Paul, who passed away a couple years ago, they're in the business, and they're
in show business?
My uncle is a writer. He wrote. No, he passed away about 2 years ago. Coming up.
Sorry, buddy.
Thank you. His
young?
last
How young?
Young, late 60s.
Oh, it's terrible.
His he and his writing partner Danny Bilson just did the Five Bloods with Spike
Glassman
Lee.
and Bilson?
No, he's DeMeo. Paul DeMeo.
DeMeo and Bilson. Wrote
The Five Bloods and a lot of stuff. The Rocketeer, a lot of cool stuff. But
The Rocketeer, I kind of remember that.
yeah,
That was a kids movie, right? Was Dennis Quaid in that? Was it about a?
It was like the Rocketeer is like a,
It was like a 50s
30s
toy,
Iron
right?
Man.
Oh, Right. Oh, so it was actually a superhero movie? It wasn't based like on a kid's dream or something?
I don't know the origins. It was an old comic book. It was
I know that, but I thought that the movie was about a kid who liked the Rocketeer or something.
No, it's about a guy who becomes the Rocketeer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I don't remember the
Dennis
actor's
Quaid?
name. No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No.
Okay.
But he became the Rocketeer, and boy,
But that was
his
your
arm's
uncle.
tired.
His arms are tired. Yeah. I'm sorry I stepped on that because it probably would have got a huge laugh.
Cuts to the people listening just...
So wait, so how many, you got one brother?
Yeah.
That's
one brother.
it?
One brother.
Older?
Older. He's out here.
You're a younger brother.
I'm a younger brother, yeah.
Does that explain a lot about who you are?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
That's one thing I haven't really untangled.
You haven't?
Some things feel too cliche to look into.
Really? Like what? Being a Jew? Having neurotic...
I don't know. The way you just said that felt anti-Semitic. Being a Jew, you had your coffee ready for a sip take after Joe.
What were you listening to when you drove? It wasn't Barry Manilow, was it?
Yeah. Good ear.
Why? Why would you do that?
I have a mix on my phone that is just... when I work out or I try to... Whenever I'm trying
None of what you're saying right now is explaining Barry Manilow yet.
Oh, I misunderstood the question. I thought you asked if I work out. Anything I do that I listen to music to get prepared for, I listen to soft music. Mm-hmm. I work out to soft music. I go to sleep to soft music. I come over here to soft music. And boy, are my arms tired.
There. So you got it out that time.
The guy who was coughing before goes, that's actually pretty...
Yeah, it's pretty good. It doesn't make sense this time.
Yeah.
So Barry Manilow, something you grew up with?
No, just soft music, man.
Stop it, man. How do you know about Barry Manilow? What are you, 12? How old are you?
Thank you. I'm
34?
36.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting up there.
Yeah. Whenever I hear something that is soft, when I hear something that's soft, I Shazam it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? So what else is in your mix?
We animate now just this flaccid dick that I'm Shazamming. And I know in the moment it's not going to be worth it. It's going to cost me a little extra money. And
to make the dick?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not even doing video, which is interesting that you're still thinking dicks.
How do you blend when you're talking to somebody the difference between an interview and a conversation? I mean, I know the differences when you're. I just listened to, by the way, and if we don't talk about it here, I want to talk to you about it either off a podcast or on mine.
Prep or
I don't know if it was prep. I just happened to listen to your Larry King interview. Man, does that? I mean, I didn't know you very well. Maybe we should talk about how we met, but I didn't know you very well. I knew you as a personality before you came to my house.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then after you came over, and I'm feeling my eyes getting water even talking about it, I liked you in that hour and a half that we spent. I had no expectations weren't met, and I didn't realize the expectations I had of you, which was, just a grouchy guy, which exists, you know, I guess it's part of the Jewish cliche.
Yeah.
But the amount that you played with me and did the snaps and the edits, and we never talked about it before, really.
No.
And then I just liked you so much. And I listened to your podcast since differently, which is, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but just like as a person, as a human, as opposed to just like this two-dimensional thing that I don't quite know yet.
Right.
And listening to, and it was older, it was 2013, right?
Yeah.
But listening to you going to his door and just, it's a game over at this point.
Right.
And then you went through it, and then you get, whether it's true or not, you were able to continue the conversation, then he seemed to forget about it for a minute. Yeah. Is really inspiring because it doesn't, I don't leave that discomfort that quickly. And what made you record at the door before?
Well, I used to do when I did those ones externally, when I would be traveling, there was sort of a precedent set. Like I would sometimes do the intros in the car driving, like to the Robin Williams episode. There were actually a couple of early episodes that we did in the car. Like I interviewed Maria Bamford driving. So it wasn't that unusual at that time for me to make the intro happen in real time. I never knew if we'd use it or not, but it turned out to be kind of interesting. But I know what you're saying, and I think that I still want to connect. I mean, there've only been a couple of times where I've remained defensive. Like what could have happened is he said, he was being a dick, and then I would have just sort of surrendered to that So once, like anything else, when that happens, is if the conversation starts to unfold, then it goes away. But if he was going to be like, what?